Go.
Boom, we're live. First take, episode 29 of the Almost Awesome podcast. With me, as always, with my co-host here, Mark. Just so you guys know, we're doing a little bit different nowadays. We're gonna start alternating our intros and conclusions between me and Mark. So I'm opening this up here. Mark, how's it going?
It's good. It's good. A little sick because it's getting chilly, but we're hanging in there.
Yo, that coronavirus.
You gotta load up them Coronas, dude.
Sorry, guys.
Jacky, do not be sorry, unless you got it.
Sorry, guys.
On that note, even if he does got it, I want to welcome our special guest today for episode 29, Jacky Chan, known for his iconic green striped sweater, which I'm surprised he's not wearing today.
Get up again.
Cut! We gotta redo it.
That's okay.
He is known for his deadly up smashes in Smash 4. Kyle, we're looking at you.
Where are you, Kyle?
And he has his very own fan page.
Oh,
Jacky.
shit, I do.
Jacky, welcome to the Almost Awesome podcast. Thanks for coming on. How's it going,
Thank you
man?
very much. Thank you very much. I like to be invited to things because nobody does. Everything's been good.
It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you, even virtually.
Yeah,
It's
man.
good to see you guys. I'm not even sure you guys are real.
Yo, but is life even real?
Nah.
No, I'm real as fuck.
Isn't life just a simulation? We're all just in this crazy simulation, this hologram that we call IRL.
IRL.
We're not promoting life. Don't worry.
We're not promoting life. No confessions here, Jacky. We save that for the pre-show. So every podcast, we usually have a theme. We let our guests choose our attire. Jacky, you've picked our attire for this podcast. Could you tell us a little bit about it and why you picked it?
I picked the attire to be anime based. Like, hello, this is One Piece. I see this Dragon Ball, and that is Kill la Kill. Holy
Kill la
crap,
Kill,
that's Kill la
man.
Kill.
Dang, that's actually sick. That's sick.
And I chose it because I can identify myself very into that kind of culture.
Hmm.
Sorry,
As a weeb.
China, you guys suck with your regulated media. But yes,
You tell him.
but I do enjoy anime and manga and all that crap.
We just got. Now we're gonna get silent or censored from China, Jacky. So sorry for any of our audience members out in China. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't think you need those audiences.
Yo, we need all the views we can get. All right, come on. We're a growing YouTube channel.
What are you, Michael Bay? Stop it.
Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty cool theme. I think it's awesome too. Like you mentioned, you're going to Japan too, so it makes a lot of sense. That's really cool. You find a lot of cool shit there, anime wise, and like there's a lot of cool stuff. So hopefully you
Okay.
enjoy that.
I cannot wait to be degenerate. Go to the old maid cafe in Akihabara.
Yeah.
So many good things.
Have fun, man.
So, with that in mind, Jack, I'd want to ask a little bit. I want to ask some questions, specifically because you're going to Japan in April.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryan told me recently. So did you just become an American citizen recently?
I believe it was last year last year or 2 years ago that I became a citizen.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
So, was part of this so then you could travel more? Like, what kind of drove you to start that process?
First thing first, I was afraid to get deported
Okay.
by Trump administration.
Yeah.
That scary shit.
That makes sense.
Second thing, I wasn't thinking much about traveling because I don't travel much I don't have that much need to travel much.
Mhm.
I'm very comfortable at the moment.
Yeah.
But it does make it easier. I have gone more this past year than like the last 10 years ago.
Really?
Because, yeah, I've been to Canada, Seattle, and all that stuff.
How nice.
Oh,
but
snap.
last 10 years ago, I was just stayed here in Florida.
Gotcha.
Hmm but it does make it easier. So I'm glad I became a citizen.
That's cool.
Well,
They
as
asked
an
me like,
American citizen, welcome to America, Jacky Chan.
"Thank you. I didn't think you struggle so much."
Was it actually a hard process?
Yes, I got the person that was asking me questions was this big, I don't want African American man that looked like he was from the military. I'm
Mhm.
like, ah, crap, he's asking me these hard questions. And then he threw this question like, why do you want to be a citizen? Then I just BS my way, like, I just want to vote for my
Mm,
country, which I'm not even registered yet.
That's a good answer though,
Yeah, that's actually really good.
because like, what's he gonna say? Like, oh man, I'm not buying that. Like, that's like the most important, like American and citizenship important thing. So that's a really good answer.
Like, how else can I um how can I convince this military man that I like this country? Vote for it betterment.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. That's how I tricked my way to your citizenships.
How you weaseled your way into it.
Here comes China. I know the things.
Learn How to Invade America by Jacky Chan.
101.
10 reasons why America hates Jacky Chan, but 10 reasons why they love him.
So did you actually have to like study and stuff?
Yes, I did. Like all the judiciary, the law, not the laws, but how the government is, how the system works.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that now that I'm stuttering because I don't remember any of it since I already passed.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
you said last year, right?
And 2 years ago, I went with Derek when I was with him.
Oh, true.
Oh, really?
Derek was like there to take photos like I became a citizen.
I imagine
Take
he
photos
had,
of
like,
whether you
flowers
become a
and
citizen or
balloons.
you get deported.
He's there
A
to
pivotal
take my
moment,
mail or
regardless.
That's got to be pretty depressing too. Like, I didn't pass. It's like, oh man, I can't take you home anymore. I'm gonna take you home. Hmm.
Send you back to the motherland. Which one? Both. I'll split you.
That's funny. That's super funny. But
Yeah.
congratulations, man.
Thank you, thank you.
I've heard the process is actually hard, and I heard it's like gotten harder.
For me it was pretty simple because I did everything right. But when they were, how do you call those? Commemorating, I guess,
Yeah.
where everybody finally becomes a citizen. People were like congratulating. The person next to me was like crying, like, "Oh crap, you went through a lot, didn't you?"
Dang.
Damn.
And I was just there like for 1 week, and I already became one.
You could actually probably make a guidebook, and it would. I can imagine people using it.
It'll be a bestseller, man.
Like I was filled out the form, gave it to him. Like 6 months later, they're like, "Come here, take a test." I did the test. Then said like, "Oh, you passed. You wanna do the celebration next week?" Like, "Oh, sure. You need to be good." Like, "Oh, I need a suit." So I went back down south and went back up, and just that. Just like,
Dang.
okay.
Oh, so you were back in Orlando when you did all this?
Mhm.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Nice, nice.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's scary.
Was it
Well,
really?
Yeah, it
I
is.
remember
You're
when
by
they had-
yourself. Like, you're by yourself, a stranger interviewing you or asking you questions. There's like interrogations.
It's just
I-
like
Is-
are you just like one-on-one sitting in a room?
yeah, 1-on-1. Like, am I gonna go to jail this time? Federal prison, here I come.
I literally pictured like the like a jail like interrogation where they have like the long white table. Jackie's sitting there with his arms on the table. There's a large black guy just comes in, always standing, never sitting down in the chair. And there's a two-way mirror behind him.
He's like slamming the table.
Why do you want to come to this country, huh? Why do you want to live here? Tell me the truth.
I was trying to make him like me, to increase my chances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking around like, oh, you have DC posters, so I'm gonna talk about DC. Like, oh, you like DC? Yes, and that's it. I could not continue from that. It
oh,
was
sick.
too scary.
Oh man.
What if I say the wrong things? I'm a Marvel guy.
Get out. Just get out. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's actually got to be a pretty nerve-wracking process.
Mhm.
How long was the interview? Like an hour? Or no, it wasn't that long.
Well, the wait time to get to the interview was longer because there was a queue
Mhm.
that people get called to go to it. But the interview in general was like 30 minutes because there's already predetermined questions that will ask you,
Mhm.
and you just memorize it and just answer what you can.
Hmm.
hmm
That's
Until they go out of script, then you're
Yeah.
fucked.
then he's just talking to you, and you're like, oh shit. Like, do tell me your favorite DC superhero, and you're like, oh fuck.
Flash is one, right?
Spider-Man? Ah, dang it.
Quicksilver? Ah, take the Flash. Ah. That's funny.
So you guys just became innocent by just being born here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's lucky.
Fuck you guys.
When did you move here, Jackie? Was it for high school or college?
For the beginning of high school, yes. So when I was like 14, I believe, yeah. That's when you start high school, right? 14? Yes.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. 13, 14.
13, 14.
Yeah, when I was 14.
You were in Venezuela before?
Mm-hmm.
Ah. How was that transition?
Pretty simple, cause for my elementary school, I went to a Spanish school, whatever.
Mhm.
But my middle school was a private high school that was teaching English.
English.
Okay.
So most of my teachers were English. So if you want to pass, you have to learn it.
Yeah.
And then from there, since I already know English, transition was great.
Mm-hmm.
But high school was a different kind of monster, because for all my school, you only have one classroom.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't have to move. The teachers moved for them.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I went to high school, like, wait, I have to move to classrooms? I got lost like in the first week or 2 weeks. And then I was very happy that I went to a same high school to a family friend. So she introduced
Oh.
me to her friends, but her friends were like seniors. So after that year, I'm by myself.
Dang.
So yeah, I had to get quick and likable with all the people here.
So,
Thank God. Thank
is
God
that
there
when
was.
you met Kathleen and all that stuff?
Yes. Thank God I was like the foreigner, so they can make fun of me, and I do not understand you, but if you're laughing, that's good, right?
Oh god.
At that point, I kind of get that. Like, you're just kind of trying to make friends. That's got to be hard,
Yeah.
though. That's got to be really fucking hard.
Not really, because in Spanish country, most of the time, there's not much racism.
Mhm.
Like we could call people black and white or chinky or yellow,
Yeah.
or chino. That's basically a nickname for every Asian guy in Spanish.
Yeah.
And then I was growing up with that kind of description to all the people, like, oh, el negro, which that's the black guy there.
Yeah.
And that's how I grew up. Like we just describe people by the color,
Mhm.
but it's not name calling by
It's not like a
Big.
derogatory like
derogatory. Yes.
manner, right? It's just that's
Mhm.
this is what you call them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then I have to watch myself when I came here. Like I should not call you that, shouldn't I?
Yeah. It's like that's really interesting though to me because that's how I feel about a lot of things, especially when it comes to like racial stuff.
Mhm.
I feel like some people are overly sensitive.
Mhm.
Like if someone wants to get to know my culture, I'm fine with it. And like if they don't have a bad intent, I think it's fine. You know,
Mhm.
like if someone's like, "Oh man, you look Chinese," I'm like, I kind of do. So like, I don't blame you for assuming that.
Yeah.
But if you're like, being racist and like offensive and negative, then yeah, But
Yeah,
I think
the way we speak is like more friendly. Like,
Mhm,
oh, el chino, vamos, vente. Like, come here, chino.
mhm.
Kind of like friendly. Want to invite you stuff and want to get you into your life.
Yeah.
That's how I guess I can say it.
So was that a hard transition too? Is like understanding you have to kind of watch how you speak coming here?
Mm-hmm. I did have to watch myself. There's
Yeah.
some words I could not say in a black-dominated high school.
Oh, that's also interesting. Well, I'm surprised. It wasn't like a predominantly Spanish high school, even
Mm-mm.
there down south.
That's how it was mostly like 80% black, like 10% Spanish,
Hmm.
like 2% white and 3% Asian. But I was in the IB program, so it's more like a little bit of everything in it.
Yeah.
True.
Hmm. Don't go to the IB program. It's a waste of time.
Don't tell people that. The
That's
IB
pretty
program
funny.
is a great program designed for accelerated learning. Helps you make great strides towards college. Which is a lie. It's a huge lie.
It's all a lie.
Get out while you can.
That struggle, those sleepless nights, not worth it. Just play games, man.
That's like so funny because literally the last podcast me and Mark had, we've been trying to think of this question that we ask every week for a month, Jackie.
Hmm.
And I think this is a good transition into that. But like the thing I said I would tell myself 10 years from now was like, don't go into the IB program. Because I feel like it actually didn't help that much, to be honest.
The only thing it helped me was to not get into fights.
Yeah. Well, I think from a social standpoint it was helpful, but from like
It-
getting to college it wasn't that
No.
great. But I
Yeah.
like almost having that smaller
Mhm.
subgroup within high school. I feel like it was easier for me to like find friends and find my niche.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true, but also true that you become a little more segregated from the
That's true.
general populace.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Like, like
Like
he's an IB kid. Like, oh yes, I am. Whoops.
they
Not
really
my
do
fault.
separate that.
But I almost got jumped by those people too. We were playing something called burn ball, if you know what that is.
I've never
Basically,
heard of
there's a little court, like three wall, and you
Okay.
throw a tennis ball toward the wall, and the other person will have to catch it. If
Okay.
they miss from catching it or drop it, they have to run to that wall, touch it, and come back.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, another guy can grab that ball and throw at
Throw at
him,
him.
Oh, that's fun.
and it hurts too.
Yeah, I can imagine. 'Cause you're throwing it
There,
as
will,
hard as you can.
there will be like penalties, and like if there's an argument who dropped it, and they will both go to the wall, not move, and someone will have to hit him.
It's like a
It's
free
just a free
shot.
throw, yeah.
Oh dang.
Ooh.
So basically, we played that burn ball like every recess because
Mhm.
we're masochists, just like that. And then this black guy, come up to us. Hey, I want that tennis ball. Like, oh crap, we're doing this, aren't we? And then we just like, no, this is my tennis. We'll get your own. Then
Mhm.
it was this kind of argument
Yeah.
that might escalate to a fight.
Yeah.
They have their own group and we have our own group. Like, ah, crap, here I come, America. This is my initiation, right?
Oh Jesus.
But as the saying goes, saved by the bell. Like, oh, okay, never mind then.
Oh, nice.
So did you keep the tennis ball or not?
Of course we did.
Of course, with there you go.
Welcome
That's
to
the American way.
We're not giving up our tennis ball. That's expensive.
Let's go.
For broke
is-
students like us, yes. We already stole it. Still your own.
we stole.
Now I'm
We
thinking
rightfully
you
stole this from somebody else.
guys- Yeah, like some other kids were playing with the tennis ball and you guys took it from them. It's just like a food chain of the tennis ball.
Jesus.
It has a name on it and nobody has that name.
God.
Oh my
messed up.
gosh.
Oh yeah, it's a trip. It's an adventure.
That's funny.
Hmm.
So,
like-
oh, go ahead, Mark.
I was gonna say, to touch on what Matt was talking about because we're starting to do like this monthly like thematic question that we're going to be asking everybody for this month, and I guess this month's question is, what would you tell your past self like 5 years ago? Like top 3 things that you would try to tell yourself. Your 2015 Jacky Chan with the knowledge that you have now.
I'll say one thing. I've been thinking about this a lot because personally, I'm not that greedy. I'm very humble. I just don't have that much ambition. So I'll just tell him, don't try to be a leader. It's not worth it. It's a headache. You don't have that capabilities. But what you can do is follow the right role models.
Mm.
I like that.
Because yeah, that's who I am. I just don't have that ambition to reach something, to have a goal. But I can at least follow the people that have that goal
Mm-hmm.
and improve yourself from them. Uh,
That's a
Second,
really good one.
yeah,
Actually, that's
yeah,
like it's a unique perspective. Like I've it makes a ton of sense too. Like hearing it. But yeah, go ahead. I just wanted
yeah.
to say that was awesome.
Like I thought, like not everybody can be a leader. That's why,
Mm-hmm.
but you can at least support the leader, which you think is right. That's what voting is, right? But yeah, that's how I am. Second, I guess I'm not sure. Don't rush yourself. That's
Mm.
it. Don't rush yourself. There's no need to uh get somewhere so quick. You can just enjoy the journey. That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And third thing is stop watching ecchi anime.
Stop.
That'll lead you. That'll lead you to the wrong path.
I believe ecchi anime has changed and shaped me into the fine gentleman that I am today.
Mark and Jackie's message is the opposite. Jackie says, "Don't watch ecchi anime," and Mark's message is,
Indulge.
"More."
Obtain the knowledge. Create the harem. The harem king is not a dream. It can be real.
You just have to start now.
I'm just gonna blame to love, bro. Fuck that shit, man. Look how I am.
The
Look who
guidelines
I
are
am.
there. Like you said, I don't have to be a leader. I can follow.
Yeah, that's what I would say, I guess.
Those are pretty good.
Hmm.
Did you, when you say the second one is something I think is cool too. Like, did you feel like so 5 years ago you were probably around 21, right?
Hmm.
Did you feel like you were like rushing and trying to do a lot more and like tackling too much?
Yeah, I was. I basically since I was 21, like oh, this when I'm legally a adult.
Mm-hmm.
Like since I can do a lot of things, but that means I have a lot of responsibilities. But if I just tackle every single responsibility at the same time, we'll break down.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's probably what happened to me one occasion. I don't feel
Really?
like talking about that.
No, it's all good, man.
Yeah, yeah, I broke down like shit. This is the first time I'm calling my parents about this. Like, fuck. Yeah, yeah, it was serious.
Dang. Like you just felt that overwhelmed.
Just all this pressure just falling down on me because I
Yeah.
tried to go do everything. Yeah, if I tell them stop rushing yourself, just take step by step, you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
like it's all, that's one of the things I would have told myself too. Is like don't rush yourself and like trust like time will take care of everything.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's like it's interesting because it's one of those things where I feel like I know, but when you're in the moment, it's hard to realize.
To see it.
Mhm.
Yeah, just because everything else is going on. Like you meant, like it's like how exactly how you described, like everything, all the pressure is on you, so it's hard to like see outside of that and think, once time takes care of it, it'll go away.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's tough because it's like everyone says, time is such a valuable valuable asset, and you need to like use it as best as you can. If you don't use it, you're losing it, right?
Hmm.
So
You're
like
already
it's
wasting it.
yeah, like it's understandable where it's just like when you get into that that mindset of where, like you said, like you just understand that life has responsibilities. I need to start making moves. I gotta like
Mhm.
there's a lot of things I need to tackle, and unfortunately, like sometimes the easiest thing is just be like, all right, I gotta just tackle it all at once, and it's hard to find that balance of just kind of calming down, relaxing, taking things one step at a time, but also like maximizing your time then you have more time to like enjoy as opposed to just being like super stressed out figuring out life. And I think that's basically the journey of life, right? Trying to figure out
Mhm.
your own life. That's it'd be cool if that happened like once you reach 22 you realize I got to figure out my life. Then 22, cool, I know all my answers, then we just chill for the next like 70. But I don't think that really happens to anybody. I feel like there's always questions that you ask yourself about life, and you just over time you just become more insightful, and that opens up more questions that you search for answers to.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I agree.
That's a pretty good transition to, in my opinion, to like what's going on with you present day. So like what are you working on nowadays, Jackie? Like Ryan told me that you started to study coding, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah,
How's
I
that
s-
going?
basically through my journey, I found out that coding would probably fit me more than anything else.
Hmm.
Cause at first, um, the way I decided to do my first degree,
Yeah.
it was civil engineering, but
Okay.
that was just a stupid decision from me. It was more of an emotional decision than a logical one.
Okay.
Cause I chose civil engineering because since I was from Venezuela, I saw a lot of these broken down homes and whatnot. And like, oh, maybe I can study and improve this kind
Hmm.
of uh, infrastructure. Yes.
Yeah.
And then as I was going along, oh crap, engineering is hard as fuck. Like, I don't think I have the capabilities to uh, learn these things to not kill someone.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
Yeah, I
responsibility.
mean it's
Like,
true.
I did not enjoy this.
Hmm.
So I transitioned myself to like a business degree.
Hmm.
But then I learned that people are horrible. I did not want to interact with them.
Hmm.
And then from there on, I just kept searching like what kind of profession would be good for me.
Hmm.
But like then I ended up with like coding because for coding it is more you are by yourself with your abilities in a computer,
Hmm.
and you don't really need to depend on people, that factor,
Hmm.
because you can self-learn about it too, and
Hmm.
there's a lot of forums to learn from. Uh, so I can work by myself at my own pace and do things. And if I fail at something, I'm not killing someone for it.
Hmm.
So yeah, I like it. I like this kind of thing. I'm a solo, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't like that much interactions.
So I think it'd be also cool, Mark, because I know you're going back to school now too.
Yep.
What was your journey like? So like, Jack, I think it's really cool. You were able to like kind of paint this picture of your journey through college,
Mhm.
and I think it's like really insightful as well to realize like two things. One, that like the major you were in wasn't right for you before you started. Like, it makes me glad that you didn't become a civil engineer and like commit super hard on that. No, not
Listen,
from like, yeah, because like okay,
Rest
so
in
millions
peace,
have been saved
people.
because Jacky Chan is not a civil engineer.
thank you for your sacrifice, Jackie. Um, no, but I the other side of it, and on a serious note, is like you could have dove farther into that pathway and then realized it isn't for you after you started working. And you're like, yo, I just hate this stuff. Like the
Mhm.
pressure's too much. I don't like all the math. But it's cool that you could source like the emotional standpoint, like the point that made you want to start it in the first place. I think that's kind of interesting, like that you found your inspiration, and understand that, and I also understand why it didn't work out for you. So, Mark, I think it'd be really cool hearing from your end as well, because I know you've been through a journey. Um,
I like to
Going
see
back
the
to school.
faces of my victims.
Jesus. I mean, I guess it was kind of similar to like you, Jackie, where originally I went to school for digital media because I was like, oh man, I love video games. Like, I'd love to be a part of like making and designing them, or any way how. And then I got into like coding and programming, and it was just like the worst thing ever. I was just like, God, I hate this. Like, like you spend like an hour typing up like 250 lines of code, and then there's one small error that crashes the entire thing, and it's just like,
True.
where was this mistaken semicolon? Where did I put a P instead of like an R or some nonsense? And like just like the highs of it were like super nice, where like you have a program that's working. It's just like, man, like I built this, I made this. It was super
Yeah, I like that high.
rewarding. But then it also comes with the lows of lows, where you're just like, I don't know what happened. All the code separately works, but when it's all together, it's not working. And it's just like you just want to pull all your hairs out. But like after going through that, I was just like, okay, this isn't for me. Luckily, through like taking digital media classes, I stumbled upon like a film class, and I really fell in love with like filming and like making videos and stuff like that, which also helped, start this Almost Awesome stuff. But even then, I had to consider, how do I make this into like a sustainable lifestyle? How do I make money from this? It's cool to make videos and like have a fun time making goofy videos, but can I make this into like, can I make this hobby into like a career, right? Can I make something I love? Can I do this for the rest of my life, doing something that like I really love? And unfortunately, that also came to a close because I realized just like I was doing videography, realized videography is too expensive for people, so they prefer photography. So I was like, okay, I have a decent camera, I could do photography. And then I ended up working for Disney, and like all things, anything the mouse touches dies. So just going through like the business side of like trying to sell like super expensive photos was just really rough for me. Where it's just like, I guess from a salesperson's perspective, it's hard for me to sell something that I wouldn't buy. Like, where it's just like, it's my job, I have to sell it, because if I don't sell it, then I'm not gonna have this job soon. But it's just like rough, where it's just like I can't like I just became like a really terrible salesperson, because I was like, all right, well, if here's like the best deal, honestly, like this is the best thing that you could get, but it's still kind of pricey. And even then, it's like, I mean, if you really like the photos, if you really want to remember it, then you can buy it. But I would be honest and genuine and be like, I don't know if I would, if they're like kind of like meh photos, I'd be like, you can like look them up on like PhotoPass and like just screenshot them. Sorry, PhotoPass. But that kind of broke me, and then I was like, okay, I need to do something. So I thought about it. I was like, I guess it's a lot of like weird trial and error of just like, what am I into? What can I do that's like a real job, I would say. So now I'm studying electrical engineering, trying to get into robotics. Because I've always been like super interested in like robotics and like automation. Just like almost the way I think about it is just making like life easier through automation, right? There's a lot of like menial tasks that we do day in, day out that could just be like done by like a program, a robot, and just that basically frees our time up to do hopefully something productive.
You're about to take my job.
But yeah, now I'm studying that, and I'm also reaching the point, because it's engineering, I'm just like, dang, like this is tough. I don't know. I don't know if my peanut brain can handle all this information. But I like it's. I guess even for me, I've even dabbled like trying to go into nursing, where I guess my thought process is I'll have a make or break course at some point where if I realize like I don't want to not try. I don't want to not give it an attempt, right? So at the very least, like try, give it my all, and if it doesn't work out, if that class breaks me, then so be it. Then we find something new. But in the meantime, like if we could do it, if we can learn it, let's learn it. Let's give it a shot. Like I guess my thought process now too is just even if things don't pan out and I don't really like engineering, at least I'll have like a decent job. Then I can use, struggle, work, get that money, and then, invest in trying to learn something else if I need to. So right now it's still kind of like trial and error of like balancing, my passion or what I want to do and be happy in life versus a logical decision of let's get a decent paying job, because with a decent amount of money, you could do a lot of doors open up when you have money. So
That's true. It's kind of funny or like interesting to me how like your guys' paths from just like subjects are almost opposite. Like you like went through coding, and then Jacky like started with engineering, and now you're ending with engineering.
yeah,
It's,
or
kind
like
of cool how they're like reflected. But I think it's also cool because there's still so much similarities on like the pathways that you guys are going, even outside of the subject. Like basically the idea of, trying a bunch of things out and figuring out what you actually like. So I think the other hard part about this, at least for me, whenever I've thought about it, is like, how do you guys start? So like, Jacky, like, how did you start the whole like learning coding? Like, what was like your first step, basically?
The first step, I guess, I went through this website for this one time. I think it was Lab. I forgot. But it was like a coding exercises around, and then I started liking like, oh, these lines are making this program to do what I'm telling it to exactly. So I don't have anything to blame but myself if anything was wrong. And also, like I said, Mark says, like about that high, like when you do all these complex lines and it started to work, like, oh, I'm so glad all this time has how call it a reward
Yeah.
for it, and I can see that. But sometimes, and when I think about the other courses, I don't see the immediate reward from it. So I really like to see that what I'm doing is actually making a difference. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
So,
Yeah, that's really cool. Because like,
coding is instant. Like if it's working, it's working. If not, then try again.
you build, you execute, you run.
Yeah.
like
If
it's
it
like
doesn't
there's a
run,
lot of
you debug.
concepts, but you can just test the concept in real time and actually see the results immediately. Hopefully, or you get a bug and you have to fix it.
Yeah.
But that's cool. So like you literally started by just starting. Like you just
Yeah,
started doing exercises. You started writing code, and like it kind of felt good.
Yeah, like I was trying out. I used to do like HTML a while back, and like, oh, I can mix and edit stuff around the website and whatnot. I can change everything, the colors I like, and just make a rainbow-ass website there. But then from then on, I was way in the past, like in middle school.
Like MySpace and stuff.
Yeah, not MySpace, but it was like an actual computer class.
Oh, okay.
But MySpace was good too. But then I realized I went back to this coding exercise website. Like, let's try it again, and then, like from there, it just steamrolled. Like, oh, I like this stuff.
Nice.
That's cool.
hmm
How about you, Mark? What was your starting point?
For me, is like I guess it's a little bit deeper than Jacky's. It was mostly like a breaking point for me. like I guess every time like I guess for like school wise, I would say, or like even just like career path wise, it's always been there's a breaking point at some point where I'm like, okay, things need to change now. So like for example, like doing photography and working for Disney, where I was just like, okay, I don't like selling products that I can't get behind, and this is like part of the job. I have to do this. So after that, I was like, when I was like, I can't do this, it was basically I can't do this job. I need to look for something else. Which is, I mean, it's unfortunate to have to wait for that point where it's just like, here's the breaking point, but you know, I think it's good to like come to terms with it as opposed to being like that worker that's just going in, day out, hating their job, feeling like they're trapped in it. And like I always say, I feel like I've been super lucky and very blessed to have the opportunity to like, you know, go back to school, try to pursue something that, I mean, even at this point, it seems kind of like wild and crazy when I think about it, but just hoping things pan out.
Yeah.
That's cool. So, Jackie, are you doing yours on more of like a self-taught, like you mentioned? Like, because there's a ton of information on coding and all that.
Some of them is self learning, but I am going to like online classes.
Mm.
And my parents are asking, why are you not going to school? Like, I am going to school here. But yeah, that's how I like it, like on my own space.
True.
Gotcha. Yeah, because like it's interesting because Mark, yours is also like you're in physical class too. So I also imagine the commitment there seems like it's higher than like doing an online class or like learning on your own because you have to like sign up. But well, I guess you do both, but you actually have to like you be there. You have to pay for school and all that. So to me, I guess it's like I can see why it makes sense. Like the breaking point, sometimes that is what you have to hit in order to like really take that dive. Did it take you time to like realize like this is why I don't like the sales job?
You cannot handle the hecklers.
Can I?
I mean, honestly, it kind of was. It was just like, oh, can I just do like this for cheaper? I'm like, no. That's not how this thing works, okay, buddy? There's reasons why we have items at certain prices, okay? You don't. There's no like 5% off deal like this nonsense, all right? If you want a bundle, you have to buy more. It's gonna cost more. You don't lower the cost just for buying one thing, my friend.
We're all cold-blooded.
It's like, oh my goodness.
Welcome to America.
Yeah. But I stuck with it for a while because I was like it was like I need this job, like it's paying decently and like I can do it. But like I started to feel it where obviously working at Disney, like as a photographer, I'm supposed to be like happy, peppy, and like energetic, try to get like people to, you know, look good in the photos as best I can.
Yeah.
But they're like, at some point I started to notice like just a steady decline, like day after day of just like it wearing me down, where it's just like, okay, this is affecting like my mental state is affecting like my ability to work or my ability to work well. So I was just like, okay, I gotta get out of this and find something new. I definitely feel like I could have like gone to the avenue of like doing like freelance photography stuff, but it was kind of just the fear of going through like the sales, like pitching stuff again. And I was like, I don't know if I want to do this for my own work, I would say. So I was like, hey, let's go for something engineering wise. Engineers are smart, right? I could be a smart guy.
So that actually makes me think about something. Tying it to what we mentioned before, like the things you tell yourself 5 years ago. Would you guys tell yourself 5 years ago, hey, just go into electrical engineering, or like, hey, just jump into coding?
Oh, hell no.
No. Do you feel like you had to like learn
It's a
By
struggle.
going through it, right? Like
I cannot just give up on the struggles. Is the struggle is what shaped me into this decision.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot just take a shortcut.
Mm-hmm.
Like 5 years ago, if I did not have that breakdown, I would not have gone into like this kind of mindset.
Mm.
Like if I told them like go to coding, that's when I will just put everything on coding on me,
Yeah.
like the responsibilities and the learning about it.
That's interesting. It might have actually scared you more away from coding than how you are now, where it's
Mhm.
like you're looking at it in a form of like it seems more exciting. Like even
Mhm.
the way you talk about it, it seems like you're more excited about it than like
Yeah,
worried it's not gonna pan out.
it changed our viewpoints. Like all the suffering, it changes you.
Mm-hmm.
Then if without it, like you will not see uh what I say, the rewards from your work.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just like it's almost like weird like chance destiny where you just come across that path at a certain time in your life and then you're like, "Oh, this is supposed to be for me."
Mhm.
Like you said, Jackie, like, you know, even early on, like if you were super exposed to coding in the past, maybe you wouldn't have wanted to pursue it now. So I definitely agree where like even going back, I definitely feel that going through the struggles of just like trying to figure out what I want to do, going through like coding, programming, learning film stuff, doing videography, doing photos and stuff, that's really shaped me to who I am and my state of mind at this
Mm.
point in time. And I don't think I'd want that to change. I'm pretty happy going through all the struggles, unfortunately failing, but I'm glad to be like who I am today because of all those things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense. It's like I think it's really cool to be able to look back on it and realize that in the moment the struggle's like really fucking hard, but looking back, I can't imagine like if say it's like the same thing for me. Like I can't imagine being who I am today if I didn't go through those hells or those
Mhm.
like those hardships at the same time. Um, so that's really cool. I think it's cool to like realize that, and actually something I didn't like think too much about until just now. So that's interesting. Really interesting. Um, Mark, I should be told I haven't really been keeping track, so I don't know
We still we
if where we stand and all this stuff. So just want to pause and like ask that.
we're still good on time. We got about like 15.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've
We
been
can
keeping
show.
track.
I don't have that covers a lot of my stuff, to be honest.
I feel like Matt is the kind of guy that will cheat his way through. He'll go to the past like, yo, invest in bitcoins right now.
Like it's not even like philosophical
Yeah.
or like mindset. Like, dude, just fucking buy Bitcoin and sell at this point. Like, don't hold it. Don't
Just get
think
rid
it's
of
gonna
it.
pop up. Like, you gotta get rid of it. Like, more importantly, get rid of it at this point. All those other cryptocurrencies, don't buy into it. Don't buy Ripple. It's a joke. Ripple's a joke. Don't do it.
Mm.
Truth be told, I feel like that would be something I try to tell myself, and then my dumb ass would be like, "Yo, I don't have the money to do it," so I would just be like wasted knowledge. I'm like, "You fucking idiot!"
5 cents a bitcoin, take it.
Just like borrow some or something. Like it's a guarantee. I promise you, it's gonna pan out. You fucking
This
idiot!
crazy guy.
Stop buying League of Legends skins and just put that money in Bitcoin. And
Stop
then in 5
investing
years, you
in
can
Riot.
buy all of the League of Legends skins.
You're not gonna be a pro gamer. Just sell that account.
Sell the account for Bitcoin. Have you guys been playing in any leagues at all?
Been trying
Last
to.
time was like 3 days ago.
That's
Like
not
1 or 2
too long
games.
ago.
ARAF is fun.
Oh, they just released Air.
Arf.
It was a while ago, I think.
Is it still
Yeah.
going on? Because I know sometimes they do it in like segments.
3
Yeah.
days ago it was on.
Dang, I kind of like those cheesy game modes, to be honest.
Just spam everything.
Oh, so to get to something, because I know we kind of touched about it a bit, like in the beginning of the podcast, but just something. Um, it sounds really really nerdy and weeby to say, but like, do you feel like watching anime has like kind of shaped certain like characteristics of yourself, or like even just like watching like those like the slice of life or like inspirational like moments in like anime, you're like, dang, like I could do this, or like it almost like gives you drive to be like, oh man, this is possible.
I mean, One Punch Man made me work out. I want to be the strongest man, but I don't want to lose my hair either.
The
It's
sacrifices.
worth the trade-off.
mm, I mean, slice of life makes me uh, look another kind of perspective in life as well.
Mm.
I mean, it just shows like you're not by yourself. You can relate. There are other people that have their own circumstances as well. You have to be open-minded about it. And yeah, those kind of shows makes you think people have their own struggles as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree. That's a perfect way to describe it, Jackie. It's like you don't feel as alone going through a struggle because someone made a movie about it and like perfect. A lot of times, like, for me, I'm like, man, they like really captured this moment or this feeling really well, and it is kind of comforting to know that. And then even if it's something you've already gone past, it's like, oh wow, that's cool that other people go through it. On your point about One Punch Man, I feel like there are animes that like Haikyuu. I feel like is one of those animes. I just want to work harder and overcome obstacles because it doesn't matter if you're like a perfect fit for everything. Like as long as you work hard, you'll find success in your own way or like your own form. I
I
feel
could
like
be a
that's the
short
effect
guy
Haikyuu has
and
on me.
play volleyball and be really good at it.
So Haikyuu doesn't have superpowers. Everything is physical fitness. So
Mhm.
it is achievable with
Mhm.
that
Yeah,
practice.
yeah. And I think that's what's cool. To me, that's what's really cool about Haikyuu versus things like Kuroko, where it's like this like just doesn't like I'm not gonna be able to shoot threes from everywhere on the court with perfect accuracy. Like this is not realistic at all. That's like a superpower. But Haikyuu makes you feel like realistic. Like man, I could do this. I could work harder. I can like converting it to something that applies to me. I think is like the link to make anime like help you grow. Do you feel the same way, Mark? Like, has there been certain animes that kind of spoke to you
He cried on
at that level?
edges.
I pour one out for all the harem kings. I'm like, man, one day we'll make it a reality. They'll all see. uh, yeah, I think so. I mean, like definitely. It's funny because there's another anime that I've been watching. It's a basketball anime about the short kid who's like playing basketball and he just loves basketball, but everyone always belittles him because he's just too short. Because like the strength is in like being tall and being able to do things, and it's it's been cool to just to see like small little things where I guess this is pretty relevant where just putting in the time and the hours can make up for like different attributes you lack. So like just like the kid goes like after practice, he'll like shoot like 100 3-pointers before like he ends the day,
Hmm.
and then just that repeated practice pays off in like those clutch moments or like during game time. So it's cool to see like even just like things like Kobe said. You just gotta put in the time, put in the work, put in the effort, and like if you want to get better than someone else, you gotta put in more hours than that person you're competing with,
Hmm.
and you just keep adding to those hours, and it'll pay off. You'll be great. So it's super cool to see. It's very motivating. Just like a simple theme of just like you don't have to be super talented. You don't have to be gifted to do anything that you want to do in life. Like everybody everybody has to work hard. Even the people that you feel like are talented, like even from an outside point of view, you may just see them be like, man, they're like super gifted. They were born to do this, blah blah blah. But you may not know like how much time they've really put into like developing that and being able to show that they're this good.
What's the name of that anime?
I don't.
Or is it like it's like a complicated, or it isn't?
I can't remember the name. Something Sora.
Hoshio no Sora.
I think
like that.
I think so. Something like that.
That's cool.
I don't know. I'm just making things up.
I believe it.
Is it more realistic than Kuroko 2?
Yeah.
It
yeah,
sounds like it. If it's
I don't think anything is realistic in Kuroko.
Yeah.
Freaking middle schoolers, man. They're middle schoolers that had the
They're
abilities.
middle schoolers at like 6 foot.
that's true.
I mean,
I'm
to
trying
be
to think
fair,
of other
they're
sports animes were not realistic.
they're like those highlight reels of like young high school kids who are like giants. They're like 7 foot. I'm like, my God, dude.
Nah, man. They repeat grades.
Doesn't matter. Still in high school, baby.
I'm the king. Not in the classroom, but in the court. Don't mess with me.
Not in the classroom.
He's like 34. He's in the classroom.
He's just pushing everybody away. Those kindergartners. Dunk on them.
Jimmy, give me your notes from English class.
I don't get it.
Please.
But he's a genius in basketball, in high school basketball or middle school basketball.
I need to pass this test so I can play in the game tomorrow.
Nobody questions it.
This is why they give athletes a minimum GPA requirement now. So then they can't. It's not to keep them in school. It's to protect the integrity of the sport from people like this guy.
We're an A school in basketball.
We're A school in basketball.
They have a whole team of guys that are like 30.
They just have a full NBA squad.
God.
All right, let's write it.
All right, we got it. Funimation, you heard it here. Next new basketball anime.
If this becomes a basketball anime, or I could also see it becoming like an American movie that's a comedy with like Will Ferrell or something like that. You heard it here first.
I hope Kevin Hart is in there too. How short he is.
He's like old, but he's the same size as that are playing.
Oh God.
Damn, you heard it here first. Mark, let's
got
get
it.
back into movie making.
All right, we'll do it. We got the budget. We have the technology.
All
All right.
Funny.
Oh, that's good.
But it is about that time that we start wrapping things up. As usual, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening, watching at your convenience. I know tonight is the Super Bowl, so whoever you're rooting for on it for the Super Bowl, good luck to them. I don't keep up with sports because I'm a weeb. The only sports I keep up with are anime sports. But don't forget to like the video if you liked it, disliked it, leave some comments below because we want to hear you guys' thoughts on our show and what we're talking about and get you involved in the discussion here. We're going to link all of our social medias outlets in the description, so you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We're going to try to post in there more often to let you guys know like what's going on here on the Almost Awesome podcast. But as we usually do, as is tradition on the Almost Awesome podcast, before we close, we throw it to our guest, Jacky. We basically give you a 1-minute segment to go ahead and close off the show. With that minute, you can use it however you wish. You can just say complete nonsense. You can do like a TLDR.
2 seconds.
You can say bye for 60 seconds if you want. But just think of it as a way to, however you choose, to end the show. So, Matt, are you about ready for, ready with the timer?
Yeah. Do you want me to share my screen and are you gonna count us off? You're gonna try to sync up.
Yeah. So I'll count us off because this is still new technology that we got to get used to.
Damn you, robot.
Are you gonna start the timer right away? Probably not, right?
We can transition first and then
Okay.
make it start. The
I wasn't
timer.
sure. I wasn't sure how
That's
it was
what
gonna
we'll
work.
do. That makes
So,
sense, I think.
all right. So let's transition in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh,
All right.
hold on. I'm gonna wait for it. Oh, like I said, this is still fairly new technology.
Is it sharing?
No, it's black
Oh,
screen right now.
I don't see your face though.
Oh, my bad. Wait.
You know, I could have just do this. All right.
Boom.
Oh
Okay.
wow, there we go.
Oh,
Yes.
it is off center. You gotta move it to the. Why did this change? Uh-oh.
This is technology we're all figuring out still, guys.
Hold on,
so
we're gonna do this live. Okay.
bear with us. You too, Jackie.
Not
That's
like
a
I
work
want
in
to go
progress.
pee right now or not.
You said you brought a bucket.
It's full right now. Damn it.
It's full.
Oh. We got that. Where's this one? My goodness. Is this really? Whoa.
I'll just drink more water to distract me.
Sorry.
While we
folks.
wait, Jackie, thank you again for being on the podcast, dude. It's been a pleasure having you.
It's been an honor.
It's actually just like catching up. I feel like it's been a while.
It is. I need a purpose to go to Orlando to party again.
If you ever find yourself in Chicago for whatever reason, hit me up, dude.
Yeah, I will spread the coronavirus over there too.
It's already starting. I think they found 11 people here with it.
Really?
So, yeah. But apparently it's not that bad for people our age.
Nah.
Like it's just like the flu for us.
I was like, our age. Well, I gotta get that flu shot still. Okay. Anyways,
Sorry.
now we have our scene set. Matt, do you want to go ahead and count Jackie off for his minute closer? I guess I should ask too, Jackie. Are you mentally prepared for this minute?
I will stutter a lot, but yes.
That's fine. That's okay. Do what you gotta do. Matt, you ready to go?
I'm ready. I was giving a thumbs up and then I realized you guys can't see me anymore.
I was doing thumbs up too, and I was like, oh, only Jackie can see me.
But I'm good.
So whenever you guys are ready to go.
Jackie, I'll do a 3, 2, 1 go and then I'll start the timer.
It's too professional for me.
Oh yeah. This is handmade, by the way, handcrafted by our tech team, aka me.
Maybe we should hire Jackie to code this timer for us.
We'll keep that in mind.
You press a key every second to count down.
There's some errors in the code, Jackie. We need your help. All right. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, hello. I'll be closing. This is Jackie. This is my fake name, so don't worry about it. I've been an honor to be in this podcast of Almost Awesome, and it is quite fun to catching up with you guys. As I said about leaders and supporting, Matt has been a really good leader, leading these questions, and Mark, you have been supporting me with your competitive, comparing me with your degrees. But it's been fun catching up with you guys, talking about our introspection of ourselves, how we got to how we are now. It makes me think again that I'm in the right place. So let's just all be comfortable with how we are. So thank you for the invite.
All right. And with that, we're out of here, everybody. Bye.
Bye.